Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today we have Luke, Tennie, and Noam Shapiro on the line, and they're lead actors, producers, and writers over at Dirty Coffee Pictures. And we're going to talk a bit about a film that was released, award-winning short film JADE that they made in conjunction with Schmet Films, and talk about the upcoming release that's going to be taking place on FilmShortage. And this particular interview is part of our AFM series, where we highlight filmmakers and individuals who attended and were part of AFM, which was American Film Market over in Century City or Los Angeles, California. So first thing first, Luke, Noam, welcome to the show. Good to have you guys on.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, man. Glad to be here.
All right, so we're recording this on New Year's Day. I like these New Year's Day ones, man. We're celebrating. How was the New Year? I got to start there. I got to do a little side quest from our normal interview. How was New Year's for you fellas?
Man, it was good over here. I started the day off at the Pasadena Rose Parade, which was my first time going, but they invited a couple of cast members from Shrinking to join the float. So I got to spend the day saying what's up to everybody in Pasadena. It was a great way to start the year.
Man, that's awesome. How about you, Noam?
Man, I literally did nothing. It was incredible. And I was an old man last night. I really don't, it's weird. I'm not really a New Year's guy, so I literally just took the time to do nothing, and I feel great for it.
Noam, I am so proud of you, bro.
Thank you, man.
This man, Noam, will never do nothing. I've heard from this man. We've edited film footage on Christmas Eve. We've, just down to the wire with this dude. That's the only day I've ever heard you do nothing in the past 2 years. You got to run.
Dang, that's what I'm talking about, fellas. That's awesome. Well, let's dive in here. So first off, we're definitely going to get into JADE, and I want to talk about that, of course. But before we get into that, how'd you guys get into the business? Who wants to start that? Luke, Noam, whoever wants to take that one first. How'd you guys get into the business?
Take it off.
Noam, why don't you tell them how we met, bro?
Well, we actually went to acting school together. We met at AMDA New York, and we weren't in the same class originally, but we always recognized each other's talents and more so each other's drive. And this was like 11 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 12 years ago, 2013. And since graduating, we've just always kept in contact and have always just tried to find stuff to work on. But it really just birthed from us going to conservatory together and recognizing each other's work ethic.
Yeah, from my perspective, I was very proud of myself for being such a hard-working guy. And y'all can kind of put two and two together that Noam is a very hard-working guy as well. But when I was at this institution, I was like, ain't nobody in here outworking me. And then when I would leave the library, there would be somebody left in there reading plays. When I would leave the campus, there would be somebody left in there doing rehearsals, doing monologues, doing scripts. And that same person was Noam Shapiro. I was like, okay, well, somebody's outworking me here, and it's that guy. I need to figure out what he's doing.
Man, that's awesome. Did you guys know you wanted to be in the business, like in film? Did you know that at an early age, or where'd that come from?
For me, it was about 18, which is when I realized, there's not much else I can actually do. So I was like, I better.
Did other people tell you, or did you have like a self-realization? Was it internal? I'm just curious on how that happened. Was it a moment or a progression?
Yeah, for me, it was a combination of both, because I was in this high school program that had a theater class, and we got knocked out of the playoffs my senior year of football, and the acting teacher got real with me, and she was like, hey, if you've got the time, I think you've got the talent to help us out in the show.
Wow.
And nobody had ever really spoken to me like that. And from playing football, I've seen.
What was that teacher's name?
I knew it wasn't you.
You remember that teacher's name?
That's Christina Wright.
Shout out Christina Wright for recognizing talent. Yeah.
And she's the reason why I decided to take it seriously, because she told me, she said, a lot of people don't realize this art could be a career. I think you can do that. And it wasn't for her. I don't know what I'd be doing now, but it wouldn't be this.
How about you, Noam?
Well, I had never planned to be an actor or planned to be a filmmaker. And to clarify, where we went, we had zero filmmaking training, and I think we had maybe a 2-week writing seminar. So kind of about 8 years into acting, I'm essentially, and Luke, I can speak for Luke as well, we're self-taught writers and filmmakers. And when it got down to making this thing, this was our first time doing anything like this. And we took the time to edit ourselves, to figure out how to use the software, to figure out just literally everything kind of from the ground up. And looking back at it, I have no regrets with that at all.
What keeps you guys going? What keeps you guys going, and what keeps that drive or that fire lit? Like, what keeps you going?
I would say I would agree with Luke that I don't know if this is illogical, but there's literally nothing else I see myself doing. It's just the thing that I desire to do when I wake up in the morning. And I kind of have one philosophy in life, which is do what you love, and this is the thing I love to do. And I can't explain why I love it, but I do.
Yeah, I wish I could say I found myself kind of envious of people who feel some sort of calling or like there's a destiny for them. That's not what I feel. I just picked it. I do it because I picked it, and I envy that sort of conviction a lot of artists have. It feels inspiring. I run beside them and chase greatness alongside them, but I've never shared that. I never got that email from Destiny. I never got that DM from God. It's just me saying, yeah, I'm picking this every day.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that philosophy. When people ask me, I'm like, I don't know. It just keeps on. These interviews keep showing up, so it picked me, man. I'm running. It's like, no, you got one, Adam.
That's dope when they pick you.
I don't know. No, I just feel like, however we look at it, I just feel like sometimes the destiny or the moment of it just grabs you, and you're just like, I don't know. It just feels right when I'm doing this, Like, that's it. Oh man, that's great stuff. Thanks for sharing that, guys. That's fun. Let's get into the movie a bit here. So, Jade, how do you want to tee this up? Like, where did the idea come from? How the project come together? Where do you guys want to start with that one?
Yeah, we can start from what is it?
Yeah,
we got it there pretty much. Yeah.
So let's go. Who wants to go?
I'll start. Jade is a 15-minute short about a man who needs a haircut. That's plot. But the actual story is this portrait of brotherhood, unity, family, and persevering through challenges. We wanted to create something that was sort of an homage or an ode to our own relationship, while at the same time created this snapshot of New York City, because Noam is a local. I'm a transplant from when I lived there. I live in LA now, but when I lived in that city, it just gripped me. So we felt this sort of fire burning to tell a New York story, and we wanted to do it in a New York apartment about two New York guys. And when this man goes to get a haircut, he gets a little bit more than that. He gets a firm talking to about how he needs to show up for his daughter. And it's ultimately just a sort of calling card for when people ask us, hey, what do you make? We show them Jade, and we say, we make this.
Couldn't have said it better.
How'd the original idea for the story come? The man getting the haircut, where'd that come from?
We actually came up with the entire thing, and this is crazy to say, but we came up with the title and the rough draft within a 2-hour writing session. So there's this, and I'm sure I've stolen this from somebody, but there's this technique that we use where we basically take 10 minutes to brainstorm 50 titles. Then within that, we pick, let's say, 10 of them, and we write log lines for them. And then we pick the log line that we want to write. And then within that log line, we gave ourselves an hour and a half or so to write a script each. Then we each read the script, each other's script, and we combine our favorite elements. Then from there's probably about 40 drafts later till you get the actual thing. But the initial seed was conceived and sort of birthed within the first 2 hours of us meeting.
So the whole thing took, wow, that's amazing. I want to go through that process one more time, a little bit more this time, because it's pretty cool. And the reason I love this, by the way, I'm just a huge fan of when somebody just goes and does. And I think that there's a lot of people that listen to this that have this thought that they want to create or they want to make something. And I'll give you just one quick example for my long-term listeners. They've heard this, but on Christmas Day, I did an interview, and I was so moved by the interview that, like, this gentleman, he was going to, first off, he scheduled on Christmas Day. So I was thinking to myself, like, I thought it was an accident. And I thought it was an accident, but then I read the notes and I'm like, oh, it was 7 months from like when his wife had passed. So then I was thinking, oh my gosh, he scheduled it very intentionally, and maybe he wanted human connection. Maybe he wanted a bit of reprieve, but that was going to be the first day, that his first Christmas celebrating without his wife, right? So I obviously did the interview. It went great, everything else. And right after that, I was so inspired. I was like, I've done over 6,000 interviews, but they're interviews like broadcasting style, like what I'm doing now. I've only done one monologue ever, and that was when my mom passed, and I did an episode for her talking about it. But I was like, so I started a brand new show, and I had that show launched within 30 minutes. And so I'm like, and for other people.
Yeah.
So that's where I want to go back through your process again, because I want other people to create too. Like you said, you may have gotten it from somebody else. I don't care. Like I think it's amazing. Like, let's go through that one more time, like on how you did it. You said, I think 50 titles first, or how was that? Give me it again, please.
Yeah, so the basic premise of this, and I'll just preface this by saying that Luke and I don't wait for inspiration to hit. I personally write 3 hours a day, whether that's just me looking at a screen or doing nothing. So that's kind of the philosophy behind it, is we're going to sit together. We're going to each write out 50 titles. And the title could be anything. The title could be Cough Drop. It could be Table. It could be Free. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But we're waiting for a word to grab us, right? Once we have that word, then we can start working on what the log line is, right? Now, if you have 20 log lines in front of you, 19 of them might be horrible, but one of them is going to be great. And from there, we can build. From there, we can build the sandbox that we can now create within. And so I think anyone can do a version of what we're doing, but I think the philosophy is basically don't wait for inspiration. Go to work as though this is your job that you're getting paid for, even though you're not getting paid for it. Because if you had a job at McDonald's, you'd have to show up. So my job as a writer, we have to show up.
That's great, and I like it. So first you started 50 titles, any titles, could be anything you want. Then you went through 20 log lines.
Like a randomizer.
Yeah, random, and no judgment. So you're just getting it out, getting the juices flowing. Yep. And then 20 log lines or so. Is that about right, the number? I had that right? 20 log lines?
Yeah.
And then if something grabs you, then what happens next?
What happens next is then we choose the thing that we're going to write, and the title JADE stuck out at us, and that's all we knew. So we were just writing from this title, and we knew, and you can correct me, Luke, but I think we knew that it had to be about a child, and we knew the basic premise of it from that one-sentence log line. But from within that, we can create anything. So I remember myself, my verse had this like narrator, like the characters kept breaking the fourth wall, which ended up being instrumental in it, right? And then Luke's version had other elements that we started to combine. And I think the great thing about like when Luke and I work together is, and I think, Luke, you said something to the effect of this yesterday when we were writing, which is that when I work together, when I work by myself, I second guess things. But when we work together, that second guessing goes out the window, and we start tapping into the subconscious, which I think as writers, you got to be tapped into the subconscious if you're going to really write something real, which at the end of the day, that's what we're after. We're after authenticity.
Yeah, we're trying to catch something. The way I described it was we become each other's second guess. That's the goal, right?
No, that's 100%. Cool. And so then the chemistry of that just brings something out new, like every time, huh? Like that. And then when the magic is there, I bet you both feel it when the magic hits and you're like, oh, this is going to be good, huh?
Yeah, we talk about it actually. There's like a moment where there'll be some times where I'm kind of like, Noam is telling me like some idea and I'm really rocking with it. And I'm like super still on the camera. And then like he don't know whether or not I'm frozen. And then I got to say something like, yo, yeah, I'm not frozen, dog. I love it, man. Yeah, keep it going. Or something like that. Because when we live on other sides of the country, we're always separated by these 3 hours being in New York and L.A. So we do all of our writing on Zoom, except for like the four days a year we get to kick it together. And then we write like, I don't know, 90 pages or something. But, yeah, usually we write over Zoom. But we still connect. We still create. We still inspire each other. And I think that's one of the reasons why we enjoy our collaborative projects.
Man, that's awesome. Well, so give me the specifics on JADE. It's coming out on FilmShortage. When? And this is going to be out pretty soon. So when is this going to, we'll make sure to get this out. When is it going to come out? Tell me the story of that getting picked up.
So it's going to come out on January 14th. And I think FilmShortage is just a great platform in terms of they just curate really good shorts. And so right now, and this was not our goal when we made the short, but right now what we're trying to do is build up hype and get some eyes on it because we're trying to create a TV series of the same name. So that's essentially the end goal with that is we're releasing through FilmShortage January 14th, and then our hope is to start pitching the series after that.
It's like that's an accidental pilot sort of deal. We did or like a spec shoot. If you've seen Whiplash, Damien Chazelle, a lot of people know this, some people don't, actually shot a scene from his film like a full production before he got greenlit to make.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And you can go watch it on YouTube. J.K. Simmons is starring in it. There's a couple different actors. But yeah, he does that big scene, rushing or dragging. And then for us, we didn't know it at the time, but JADE, our short, is sort of our demonstration of our capabilities on behalf of our pilot.
Man, that's awesome. I love it. It's great stuff. What are you guys working on next? I know we're promoting this one today, but I got to ask before I let you go. What are you working on next? We're starting off 2026. This is January 1st. We're recording this. So what are the plans for the year?
All right. Well, for me, as an actor, I'm pretty busy, which is a blessing. Y'all can catch me on Shrinking Season 3, AppleTV Plus. Can also catch me on Abbott Elementary, which streams on Disney Plus and Hulu. Can also catch me on The Pit, which starts streaming in January. I'll be playing a night shift doctor on that joint. And Noam and I always got some bullets in the chamber in terms of what's creating.
I know you do, man.
Yeah, man. Nothing to really announce right now, but you can expect some more from Dirty Coffee.
Yeah. And what about you, Noam? What do you got planned for 2026?
The main thing right now is going to be getting this series made. That's where all my focus is. I've got a couple acting gigs that they should be coming out hopefully this year. I got a Netflix film that I did last year and another really fun thriller that I shot out in Bulgaria with an awesome cast. But other than that...
Because you weren't going to say it. The Netflix joint he's going to be in, starring Cameron Diaz, which is exciting. And that other joint, the Bulgaria joint that he shot, one of our other good friends is in as well, like somebody who we always tape with, who we went to AMDA with. They're both in that feature together. And when they called me to tell me they had both booked the same movie, it was one of the best days. So
yeah, bro.
Stuff in the pipeline for both of us.
Hell yeah. And we have a couple, in addition to JADE, we both have some features in the chamber as well that we're writing. So we're really focused on that too.
Oh,
like
man.
you said, Adam, we're trying to feed the beast. Let's get
I already know.
2026.
Man, I know you guys are not playing. How do people follow you? How do they follow you? How do they connect on socials, websites, or otherwise?
You can pop Dirty Coffee pictures into Google. Our site will come up. And individually, it's both our names, right, Noam? Yours just your name?
Yeah, I'm doing a little Instagram detox just because I feel that it's good for me, but you could follow me at Noam Shapiro Acting. I'll be on there at some point, but otherwise, just dirtycoffeepictures.com. Yeah, we're on there whenever we're promoting for sure. And you can find me at Luke Tennie on Instagram. Well, I don't even know if it's called Twitter. I don't even be going on Twitter no more. And what else am I on?
We keep it to Instagram. We're good. Well, for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so that you have all the social handles and, of course, the website for the production company. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters, this is a daily show. Yes, you heard that correct. Daily, each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So don't forget, hit that subscribe or follow button. We have a bunch of great interviews and guests coming up, and we don't want you to miss a thing. And Luke, Noah, man, thank you for coming on, making some time on New Year's Day for me, and I look forward to continuing to follow your work and your journey. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure.